What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome to our little corner of the internet. I am so interested in today's video. It's titled The Math of Being Broke, Why You Pay Double for Everything. I've been broke my whole life. There was a comment that I saw just recently that said like you seem to be very excited about your new apartment, but regardless in your Instagram it looks like you live quite a high quality lifestyle. Like there's nice places and stuff on my Instagram. My own Instagram is the way that I learned that you can't trust anything you see on the internet. I've been broke my whole life. Last year, in the whole year, I didn't even make 12,000 euros in the whole year, and I was working the whole year. I probably made around 8,500 euros, so like $9,000 a year. So and even, we've never been like a rich family, rich in love, and that's about it. No, I'm kidding, but no, I had a great childhood. I could get everything I wanted, but my family's never been like rich. And also when I was a child, I was never like, I wouldn't get anything for free or anything like that. I had to earn everything and work, and that's how I started working when I was 14 and all that good jazz. And I know what it's like to survive on rice and beans. But yeah, like I was saying, my Instagram was the reason why I learned that you can't trust anyone, because my Instagram does look like I live like a luxury life, but it was because I was working for a magazine for a lifestyle. It's like a lifestyle kind of fashion magazine in a city here in Spain, and we would go to see our clients in restaurants and stuff like that. So I would take pictures and it looks like I'm living a high lifestyle, but no, that was free. That was free for me. Which but yeah, I learned a lot from that job and from connecting with other people. So but my point is, when I was broke, I always had a dream that I could, do some type of side hustle, something to double up on my money. They never worked out very well, but it's so hard to save money and get, well, I wouldn't say rich, but to get economical stability when you're broke. It's actually really hard. So yeah, anyways, I don't even know if this video is about that, but let's see what this video is about.
Picture this scenario, because I bet almost everyone watching this has felt it in the pit of their stomach at least once. You are driving to work, maybe running a few minutes late, and suddenly that check engine light pops on. Your heart sinks. You know, logically, that fixing the problem right now might cost $300. But you look at your bank account and you have
no, thank goodness I didn't have a car before. Like I got a car last year. I saved up for so long to get a car, and I paid for my driver's license as well. That was so expensive. And now I realize how expensive it is to have a car. It's actually so expensive, especially being younger.
exactly $42 to your name until Friday. So you ignore it. You turn up the radio to drown out the weird rattling noise. You pray. 2 months go by, and because you didn't have that $300 then, the car breaks down on the highway. You need a tow truck, which is $200. The original part that was broken has now destroyed your transmission, so the repair is $2,000. And because you can't get to work, you miss 2 shifts and lose $300 in wages. That initial inability to pay $300 has now spiraled into a $2,500 catastrophe. This isn't just bad luck. This is a mathematical trap. It is the distinct, measurable, and suffocating cost of not having money. My name is Bobby, and I spend way too much time thinking about the hidden mechanics of wealth and the invisible equations that keep most people stuck on the hamster wheel. If you are someone who feels like you are working harder every single year, but your bank balance never seems to actually go up, or if you feel like one bad Tuesday could ruin your entire financial year, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out.
I wish I seen this video last year. I needed it. But yeah, this is something that I had to learn the hard way, which is we used to buy everything secondhand, like phones, TVs, everything was always secondhand. So when I got this new apartment, I was able to buy some new things like a coffee machine and a toaster and things like that God damn it. I need to learn to be a YouTuber. This is not... There we go. Please stay. Okay. So, I was able to buy some new things like some electronics and stuff, and I've learned that sometimes it's better to buy new things instead of secondhand, because you spend double if you buy secondhand because they'll break eventually. So, but yeah, I think the thing is also that we couldn't buy new things, or it wasn't very smart to spend that much money, so you're still kind of stuck. But if you can, then it's better to buy higher quality. It'll last longer and you'll end up spending less than to buy everything secondhand. Does that make sense? But yeah, nowadays I try to, save up and make better decisions.
And give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out, because today we aren't talking about stocks or crypto or how to get rich quick. We are talking about something much more insidious. We are talking about why being broke is actually the most expensive hobby you can have. Here's the thing about money that most financial gurus get wrong. They tell you that wealth is a result of discipline and poverty is a result of bad habits. They say things like, stop buying lattes or cancel Netflix, as if saving $12 a month is going to revolutionize your life. But that advice ignores a fundamental economic reality known as the Boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness. The theory comes from a character named Sam Vines in a Terry Pratchett novel, and honestly, it explains the wealth gap better than most economists with PhDs. The theory goes like this. Take two men. One is rich, one is poor. The rich man buys a pair of $50 boots. They are high quality, leather, stitched properly. Those boots last him 10 years. The poor man cannot afford $50. He only has $10. So he buys the cheap, cardboard-soled boots. But those boots fall apart after one season. So the next year he has to spend another $10, and the year after that. Over the same 10-year period, the poor man has spent $100 on boots, double what the rich man spent, and yet he still has wet feet. The rich man is dry, comfortable, and $50 richer. This is the math of being poor. You are forced to pay a premium for the lack of capital. You might be thinking, okay, Bobby, that's a nice story about boots, but how does that apply to my actual life in 2025? Well, look around you. This dynamic is everywhere. Let's talk about something as basic as toilet paper. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but stay with me. If you have $50 to spare, you go to Costco or Sam's Club. You buy the mega pack of toilet paper. The cost per roll might come out to something like 50 cents. You are set for months. But if you are living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have $50 to lock up in toilet paper inventory. You have $4. So you go to the corner store or the bodega and you buy the 4-pack. The cost per roll is $1.50.
Oof, this video is giving me anxiety because it really be like that, like when you have to count to the last cent of each month, and then you realize that you have to pay more because you can't afford to pay less, which is crazy. And yeah, that's
are literally paying 3 times more for the exact same product simply because you couldn't afford the bulk price.
But how do you come out of that? Because what am I going to buy toilet paper 1 month, and then the next month I can buy something else when I need those things every month,
This is what we call the poverty premium. It applies to mayonnaise, laundry detergent, diapers, especially diapers, and almost every non-perishable good in your house.
Diapers are so expensive.
The math says that if you are broke, your inflation rate is technically higher than a rich person's inflation rate because you are perpetually locked out of economies of scale. But it gets significantly darker than just groceries. Let's talk about the banking system. This is where I get genuinely frustrated because the system is designed to punish you for stumbling. If you have $10,000 in your checking account, the bank treats you like royalty. No monthly fees, free checks, maybe even a little interest, although probably not much. But let's say you are struggling. You have $20 in your account. A subscription you forgot about hits for $25. You are now negative $5.
This has happened to me way too often. Way too often.
Does the bank say, hey, looks like you're having a rough month, let's cover you? No, they hit you with a $35 overdraft fee. Think about the annual percentage rate, the APR, on that transaction. You effectively borrowed $5 for a day and it cost you $35. That is an interest rate of 700%. If a loan shark did that, they would go to jail. When a bank does it, it's just standard policy. Last year alone, banks made billions of dollars in overdraft fees, almost exclusively from people with less than $1,000 to their names. The rich get paid interest, the poor pay interest. It is a wealth transfer from the bottom to the top, disguised as service fees. And look, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, just don't spend money you don't have. And theoretically, yes, you are right. But psychology plays a massive role here that we cannot ignore. There is a concept called scarcity mindset. Studies have shown that when you are legitimately worried about money, when you don't know how you're going to pay rent next week, your functional IQ actually drops by about 13 points. That is the equivalent of missing a night of sleep. Your brain is so consumed with immediate survival that you physically lose the capacity to make long-term strategic decisions. This is why when people are broke, they often make decisions that look stupid to outsiders. They take the payday loan with 400% interest. They buy the lottery ticket. They eat the fast food instead of cooking. It's not because they're dumb. It's because their cognitive bandwidth is maxed out just trying to survive the day. The Boots theory isn't just about the math of money, it's about the math of mental energy. The rich man doesn't just save $50 on boots, he saves the mental energy of not having to worry about his feet getting wet for 10 years. He can use that brain power to invest, to learn a new skill, to start a business.
Oh.
The poor man is stuck in a loop of constant low-level panic. Let's dig deeper into the buy nice or buy twice phenomenon with something bigger than boots, cars. In the United States, unless you live in barely 3 cities, you need a car to work. A wealthy person buys a 3-year-old Toyota or Honda. It costs maybe $20,000. They pay cash or get a low-interest loan at maybe 4 or 5%. That car runs for 10 years with just oil changes. The total cost of ownership is low. Now, look at the person with bad credit and no savings. They need a car to get to the job to make the money. They go to a buy here, pay here lot. The Predatory dealership sells them a high-mileage clunker that is worth maybe $4,000.
I paid maybe $3,000 for my car. It's 11 years old. But it has personality, okay? Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But I did have to go and repair it right after, and it was pretty expensive, so.
But they sell it for $8,000. Then, because they have bad credit, the interest rate is 24%. If you do the math, over the life of that loan, they might pay $15,000 for a car that was worth $4,000. And here's the kicker. The car will likely break down before the loan is paid off. So they are still making payments on a dead car while trying to finance a new one. This is the poverty trap in high definition.
I paid my car right away, and I saved up and paid it right away because I'm scared to be in debt. I know most people can't even avoid debt when it comes to studying and all of that, but I've never ever had debt, which is good because I could not deal with that. I mean, I could probably, everybody has to, but and also I don't really, I if I was to change a car, I would prefer to pay it directly instead of paying it monthly. Even though I know that's probably impossible, but you know.
You aren't just paying for the car, you're paying a risk premium because society has deemed you risky. And the only way to stop being risky is to have money, which you can't save because you're paying the risk premium. It is a cycle designed to keep you exactly where you are. And we haven't even touched on housing. Renting versus owning is the ultimate Boots theory example. When you rent, you are paying 100% interest. You get zero equity. You're paying your landlord's mortgage plus a profit margin. But to buy a house, you need a down payment, $10,000, maybe $20,000. If you're paying 50% of your income in rent because rent prices are sky high, you can never save that down payment. You're trapped paying $2,000 a
Only 50%?
month in rent.
I know there was another person who said that, well, there's a lot of people who say that your rent should be at 35% of your income. How is that even possible? The math is not mathing.
For an apartment that would cost you $1,200 a month if you owned it. The rich person buys the house, lowers their monthly overhead, and gains an asset that appreciates in value. The poor person pays more monthly for an asset they will never own. It's expensive to be poor because you are renting your entire existence. You are renting your shelter, you are renting your money through credit card interest, you are renting your stability. So this is where it gets really interesting and honestly a little scary. There is a hidden tax on your time as well. Think about the laundromat. If you have a washer and dryer in your house, doing laundry takes 5 minutes of active work. You throw it in, you walk away. If you have to go to a laundromat, it costs you $5 in quarters, but it also costs you 2 hours of your life. You have to travel there, wait, and travel back.
Someone asked if I have a laundry machine in my apartment. I do. But when I moved in, I thought I didn't. And I was already so like, oh, I have to go to the laundry place and wait. But it was actually hidden in one of the kitchen cupboards. So I do have a washing machine. But I feel like, yeah, the laundry thing that's like difficult. Do you have to wait at the laundry place for your laundry to get done, or how does that work?
That is 2 hours you cannot spend working, resting, or being with your family. If you value your time at even minimum wage, the cost of that laundry is astronomical. Or think about food deserts. If you live in a low-income area, you might not have a giant grocery store with fair prices nearby. You have a convenience store with inflated prices. To get to the real store, you might need to take a bus and pay fare, plus an hour of travel time. The friction of daily life is higher when you don't have money.
I'm going to talk a lot during this video, but now that I moved, my dog doesn't want to be left alone in this apartment, so I can't go to the grocery store. I can't go anywhere. I'm trapped. I can go out and walk with my dog, kind of, because she's so scared of the city. It's a bit difficult as well. But right now, I'm trying to train her to not like bark and freak out if I leave. If you have any tips, then let me know. But I have to buy my groceries online, which is crazy. And I can't go anywhere. So, but hey, more time here making videos. It's good. But I need to teach my dog to be quiet. Right now what I'm doing is like opening the front door, going outside, giving her a treat, closing the door, waiting for a few seconds, opening it up, giving her a treat, see if that works but I don't know.
Everything is harder. Everything takes longer. And time, as we know, is money. By stealing your time, poverty steals your future earning potential.
Now, I can hear the objections already. Bobby, this is depressing. You're telling me the system is rigged and I'm screwed because I can't afford the nice boots. And look, I get it. It is depressing. But understanding the math is the only way to break the equation. Most people ignore this because it's painful, but you have to look at the numbers to find the exit. The problem is that standard financial advice tells you to invest in the stock market to get an 8% return. But if you are poor, the best investment you can make isn't the S&P 500. It's escaping the boots theory penalties. If you have credit card debt at 20% interest, paying that off is a guaranteed 20% return on your money. No stock picker in the world can promise you that. If you buy a reliable toaster for $50 so you don't have to replace the $10 one every year, that is a return on investment. The first step out of this trap isn't trying to get rich, it's trying to stop the bleeding. This brings us to the most critical concept, the buffer. The only way to stop the cycle of buying the cheap boots is to artificially create a period where you don't buy any boots at all so you can save for the good ones. This is why the emergency fund, that first $1,000, is not just boring advice. It is the weapon that destroys the poverty premium. When you have $1,000 in the bank, a flat tire is an annoyance, not a financial crisis that forces you into a payday loan. That $1,000 allows you to increase your insurance deductible, which...
But it's so hard to save $1,000. I tried to save every month last year, but then when a medical issue comes up or I need to take my dog to the vet, I'm at zero again. So, but yeah.
Lowers your monthly premium. See what happened there? Having money saved actually lowered your monthly bills. That $1,000 allows you to buy the bulk toilet paper. It allows you to fix the small leak before it becomes a floor replacement job. That first chunk of...
Oh, and there's a leak in my house. I need to tell my landlord.
Liquidity is the hardest money you will ever save, but it is also the most powerful. It switches the game from defense to offense. You have to start looking at your purchases not just as spending, but as solving a problem permanently. When you have a little bit of cash, the temptation is to treat yourself because you've been depriving yourself for so long. That's the psychological trap. You buy a nice dinner or a new shirt because you want to feel normal for a second. But if you take that cash and buy the high-quality work boots or the reliable tires or the dentist appointment to fix the cavity before it becomes a root canal, you are effectively buying your future freedom. You are paying off the poor tax so you never have to pay it again. It requires a shift in thinking from, can I afford this monthly payment, to, what is the total cost of ownership? The dealership wants you to focus on the monthly payment because that hides the true cost. You need to focus on the lifetime value. Here is what most people don't realize. The system relies on your ignorance of these mechanics. Companies bank on you paying the late fees. They budget for your overdrafts. They depend on you buying the disposable razor blades again and again instead of the safety razor that lasts a lifetime.
If I ever have children when they come out the womb, I'm going to show them this video.
When you start making decisions based on the boots theory, you become a bad customer for them, but a great CFO for your own life. You have to get angry at the math. Use that frustration. Every time you see a late fee, every time you see a convenience fee, let that anger drive you to build that buffer. You are fighting a war against entropy, and your ammunition is liquidity. So, what is the actionable step here? It's not sexy, it's not buy Bitcoin. It is this: audit your life for vampire costs caused by being broke. Look at where you are bleeding money simply because you don't have money. Are you paying for private mortgage insurance? Are you paying high interest on a car? Are you buying single rolls of paper towels? Identify the biggest leak, then ruthlessly cut everything else, and I mean everything, until you have the cash to plug that specific leak. If you need $500 to fix your car so it stops burning oil, selling your old clothes or doing DoorDash for a weekend is not just earning extra cash. It is a strategic strike against a future expense. You are buying your way out of the trap one pair of boots at a time. This journey is unfair. I won't lie to you and say it's an even playing field. It takes 10 times as much effort to get from $0 to $10,000 as it does from $10,000 to $100,000. The wind is in your face at the start, but once you understand that being poor is a mathematical penalty, you can stop blaming yourself for being bad with money and start attacking the penalties themselves. You stop playing their game and start playing yours. You buy the boots that last. You buy the freedom to say no to the bad loan. And eventually, you walk right out of the hole. If this video sparked something in you, if you realized you've been paying the poverty premium without even knowing it, do me a favor and share this with someone who needs to hear it. We don't talk about this stuff enough. We talk about the wins, but we rarely talk about the traps. And hit that subscribe button because we are going to keep breaking down these obscure financial truths until we all have the high-quality boots. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
This was really, really, really good advice. I really wish I had seen that before. Because it doesn't... most of the videos about making or getting out of being broke is like, don't buy the coffee, don't buy a chocolate bar, don't buy this. But this is good advice. Either way, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I really hope you liked it. Please do like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys in the next video.